Now that you've collected your data on a beach or riverside, it's important to share that information so you can influence policymakers. One way to do this is through a policy brief. A policy brief is a way to share well-researched, clear, persuasive information about a policy issue with lawmakers. It's important that it's brief. Politicians are busy and they're unlikely to read a long or wordy document. But you also need to produce something that has legitimate sources and is based on solid scientific data. So while it's brief, it must also be very carefully researched. Fortunately, we put together a template of a policy brief that can be used. You should feel free to download this from www.catowens.com/river-engage, or just on the main page, look for the River Engage tab. You can insert your own data onto that sheet and share this with local leaders. What you need to remember is it's important to keep it brief, 3 to 5 pages max. Use tools like bullet points or graphs or bold text to grab the reader's attention. You want to emphasize the takeaway message. Think about the way politicians communicate. Often they're using sound bites. So you want to give them sound bites that they could use to very quickly give very important information. Though you might be reading from your scientific documents a lot of jargon or very scientific language, you want to make sure your policy brief is free of jargon and easy to understand. And you need to help politicians understand why they should care about this issue. It's also important to include policy suggestions in a policy brief that can provide solutions to the problem. Ideally, you're going to select your policy solutions based on the data you collected. So when you analyze your data, hopefully you'll be able to determine that it's from one source more than others. That might be from commercial fishing, recreational fishing, municipal or community waste, manufacturing, shipping, or storm debris. A great resource to find policies that you could recommend to politicians is the Duke Nicholas Institute's Plastics Policy Inventory. It's a database that includes thousands of policies that target plastic pollution around the world. Your policy brief should include the following sections: a description and explanation of why plastic pollution is a problem, details of your project and what you collected and when, what you found, describing the amount of debris, the count and the weight, the percentage that was plastic or other materials, and then how you analyze that to determine its source. Also, it should include some policy recommendations, and you should share your sources so that the reader can easily understand that your work is well researched. But you can use our template at www.catowens.com on the River Engage page as a resource. Once you create your policy brief, you want to share it with local leaders. So you should make an appointment to meet with local politicians or community leaders. You should create a very succinct and clear presentation that shares the results. You should practice your presentation many times before the meeting so that you're prepared. And then you should present the results. Most importantly, you should follow up with them as long as it takes to find out if they've made any changes to address the problem of plastic pollution in your community.